I'm Rachel Belle, and this is Your Last Meal, the show where celebrities share stories about the foods they love most, and we dig into the history, culture, or science of these meals with experts from around the world. Today on the program, stand-up comedian Atsuko Okatsuka. Atsuko released her first comedy special in 2022, and she was only the second Asian American woman to land an HBO comedy special. The first was past Your Last Meal guest Margaret Cho, and that was all the way back in 1994. Atsuko's second comedy special, Father, released on Hulu this past June. And she's out on the road right now touring the Big Bowl Tour. If you're trying to place Atsuko, you may know her by her signature bowl cut. Atsuko's first job was scooping ice cream, but the job also involved singing. So I talked to two people who took jobs at restaurants and had no idea they had to perform for customers until they saw it happening on their first day. That's coming up later in the show. But before we get started, I have to sheepishly admit something to you. We had a technical snafu. And unfortunately, my side of the interview with Atsuko has gone to computer black hole heaven. It no longer exists. So you will only hear Atsuko's side of the conversation, which sounds totally normal. And I could have kept this information to myself. But when she says something funny and you don't hear me laughing, or if she says something important or moving and I don't make a comment or ask a question, I just want you to know I didn't leave her hanging. I laughed, I commented, I questioned. You just won't hear any of that. Oh, and one more thing. There is a lot of swearing in the second act of this episode. Not from Atsuko, from another guest. Okay, let's get to my one-sided conversation with Atsuko Okatsuka. When Atsuko was 8 years old, she moved from Japan to Los Angeles.
My grandma first brought me to the States for a 2-month vacation. After I had been living with my dad in Japan, we were like, yeah, I'll be back in 2 months. That's whatever. I didn't take my stuff. I didn't say goodbye to my friends or my dad or anything because it's a vacation. I was going to come back and tell them all about LA and how it went. But we never went back. That's when I lost touch with my dad and Japan. We really couldn't see each other for a long time. Yeah.
Atsuko was never really clear on what happened. She's always been extremely close to her grandmother, but her family didn't talk about things like this. They didn't bring up the past. When she tells this story in her stand-up, she jokes that her grandmother kidnapped her. But she didn't know the truth until 2 years ago, when she dove into solving this mystery with the help of This American Life.
It's all thanks to NPR and Ira Glass. That's the cool thing about collaborating with journalists is they can figure out facts for you that you wouldn't have done the research to find, because it's not laziness per se. It's more just that, it's hard to dig for the truth on your own. Sometimes it's like, I'd rather not know because that might be painful. So I needed like a whole public radio project for me to, finally face the truth.
The truth was what she had been joking about all those years. Her grandmother did kidnap her.
She's my best friend. She raised me. She knows me, I think, the best out of almost anyone I know. Sometimes it'd be like that. Your closest friends or closest loved ones, those are the ones who also have done some wild things to you.
Atsuko's childhood was steeped in instability. She was an undocumented immigrant living in her uncle's garage with her grandma and her mom, who suffered from paranoid schizophrenia, which is why she thinks she always carries snacks in her bag.
I have like a survivor, like survive, don't die mentality. So yeah, whether it's like Baby Bell cheese or something. Sometimes it's been more intense snacks like a cooked scallop. Like a couple, like Ursula. style. I carry them around like they had lost a deal with me where they lost their voice, you know? It's very villainous to carry around just a couple of scallops for you to eat later. Sometimes it's been dumplings, you know, while at a play, I'll sneak one, you know, in my mouth because I got hungry. Do this or die. Like if you don't pack snacks, what if you get stuck somewhere and there is no food, or I don't know, elevator goes down, or I'm always thinking about things like that. I don't know why. Maybe because I was surprised as a kid, right? Like I didn't know I was going to move to America, for example. I'm like, well, I would have packed better, you know, things like that, right? When I'm on the move, I'm like, this could be the last stop. I just think that. And also, you know, we were very frugal too when I was younger because my mom and grandma couldn't work in the United States. We didn't have the papers to. So I think it's all of that. That's poverty brain. And so now when someone's like, all of this is free in the green room of a club or something, I have a hard time not taking it all. Most times I'm going to another city the next day or flying or something where there's going to be another green room with more stuff. I had to learn my lesson a couple of times like that for me to start being like, okay, maybe I don't take everything. Maybe 12 eggs won't last on an airplane to another city, only for me to be confronted with 12 more eggs to take, you know? But then realizing that when you do that, you are wasting because you don't end up eating it all. It sounds so simple, but I had to learn because I was taking everything. I was like, oh wait, I'm actually throwing away more.
Stability, comfort, and predictability are also big factors in Atsuko's last meal.
It's something I had last night. It's something I have a lot. It is gluten-free spaghetti with vodka sauce, like meat sauce, that my husband and I eat a lot when we do cook at home. That's the one dish. My husband got diagnosed with celiac a year ago. And so food-wise, I was like, well, I mean, this autoimmune disease that he has, that's not going to change. So gluten-free will be how we eat. The things we used to love, you know, like spaghetti, we loved it. And now we eat it gluten-free. And we finally figured out the recipe that is tasty enough and that doesn't make you feel like, you know, oh, I'm missing out on the real deal. Like we figured out the right kind of sauce, the right kind of meat, which is ground turkey meat, actually, like dark ground turkey meat, and then the right kind of gluten-free spaghetti, which is Jovial. That's the brand. I think for me, it represents stability and being able to overcome a diagnosis. And it's something that I get to share with my husband. So I think that's why everything is so unpredictable in my life, or it was, right? Like I didn't know, again, like I was moving to the States, or my mom has schizophrenia, and so every day was different. I didn't know what she was going to be mad about or sad about, or, you know, if she was going to throw a temper tantrum, or if she was going to have a seizure. So much was like uncontrollable. And because of that, I was too, you know, I was very rebellious. I moved out when I was 17 with a boyfriend, and like I went to jail for drinking and driving one time, you know. And so like now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like married and I have a grip. I was lucky, you know, I'm a citizen now. I'm no longer undocumented. Like I need things to continue working, you know. And so now I really value routine. Right now in my life, I really value, I guess, that stability.
For her last meal, Atsuko Okatsuka wants gluten-free spaghetti with a ground turkey vodka sauce that she can cook and share with her husband.
Usually we're too full to have dessert after that dish. Yeah, I just eat spaghetti probably improper. I eat it till like almost black out. Is that how you do it? Is that normal? Yeah, and no dessert because of it.
These are my favorite kinds of last meals. I love the sweet, sentimental ones. Atsuko wants this casual weeknight gluten-free spaghetti because it's something she can enjoy with her husband. This reminds me of Jack Johnson's last meal. He told me he wants a simple veggie stir fry because that is what he and his wife used to make 30 years ago when they were just dating and traveling around Europe in a camper van with hardly any money. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Imagine you were hired to wait tables at a steakhouse, but on your first day of work, you learn you also have to line dance. Or imagine you got hired at a hot dog stand, and on the first day discover you have to insult the customers. We will hear both of these stories when we come back. Atsuko's first job was at Cold Stone Creamery, but it turned out to be her foray into the biz we call show.
At age 17, once I got my green card and I could work in the US, a lot of places wouldn't take me. That's the weird catch-22 about getting a job. Is like, you have to have a job to get a job. In these interviews, they're like, what are some prior experiences? I was like, well, I'm trying to get some prior experiences by being with you. So I was a cheerleader in high school. I loved cheering people on, and I always loved dancing and performing. And it was like one of the first places I found community was the cheer squad. And Cold Stone Creamery, where I got the ice cream job, wasn't, about your resume, wasn't about where have you worked before, or your grades, or can you spell? No, it was an audition that we had to do. It wasn't an interview, it was an audition. So I just did cheers and dances and like some gymnastics, and that's how I got that ice cream job. They had mentioned it was going to be an audition, so like bring in stuff like that, something. Some people did even like monologues. It was kind of like trying to get into Juilliard or something. You kind of had to be a performer to work there. Every time you get a tip, you sing a song and perform. Some people went into dance as well. Of course, that was the job I was going to get. But also, I didn't know that I would get to live my dream at age 17. So I was like, oh man, what do I do now? I've peaked. This is all literally all I planned for. This is my goal. I didn't dream past this. I liked working there. You got a free scoop of ice cream every time you worked there. That was cool.
I think I've only been to a Cold Stone once, and that was more than 20 years ago. I definitely don't remember any singing or dancing. So I was curious what kind of performing they were doing.
It's a lot of like puns or, rhymes about ice cream, but to songs that already exist. So one was like to the Flintstone theme song. So we would go, Cold Stone, you're at Cold Stone. Like that. We're a scuba duper family. When you tip the tip jar, we will try to sing in harmony.
Atsuko was living and scooping ice cream in Los Angeles. So she was not the only show pony on staff.
A lot of customers would beg for people to not sing. I think some workers also begged for them to not make them sing too. Not our store. One of my coworkers loved going full out. He would go full out every time we got a tip. I was like, stop, this is, no. He would always pose at the end, out of breath, like we just did a Broadway number. I was like, no one's going to try to cast us from here. No producer here.
Atsuko knew what she was getting into when she auditioned to scoop ice cream with a side of jazz hands. But that's not always the case.
I worked at Lone Star Steakhouse and Saloon, which no longer exists, from 2003 to 2005.
That's Justin Eckstein, who is now a professor based in Tacoma, Washington. When Justin took the job, he had no idea that the Lone Star Steakhouse and Saloon staff were required to stop whatever they were doing when a particular song started playing and line dance.
Didn't matter if you're doing side work or, attending to anything in the back, you had to come out and dance for everybody.
When did you find out that this was a part of the job?
On the first day, I was just like, what are people doing?
Did you go to a training? How did you learn the dance?
Nope. And they were like, just watch and then you'll figure it out. I mean, to their credit, it was not terribly complicated. And growing up in New Mexico, we had to learn line dancing in PE. So I felt like it was pretty quick to pick up.
Would you ever get in trouble for skipping out on the dancing?
Yes, absolutely. I had a talking to a time or two about not fulfilling my duties and responsibilities, specifically related to dancing. I was always good at rolling silver and, chopping lemons and stuff, but I just didn't want to do it.
So it wasn't like if someone gave a big tip or it was someone's birthday. It was just totally random when this song came on.
Correct. Yeah. Usually at the worst time. Less random, and it felt malicious and timed.
Say more about that.
Oh, no. I mean, it's just like, you're in the weeds and all of a sudden you're like, oh, God, I have to set everything down and now go dance for the public. And then there was peanut shells on the floor, which also added an additional layer because, if you don't slip on those.
It was dangerous.
So I had to make a quick decision. Well, is this part of my life or am I going to go look for another job? And I just stuck with it.
Why do you think you stuck with it?
Lazy. I mean, I eventually did. I left for the macaroni grill.
I love this. Moving on up.
Oh, yeah.
How did other staff members feel about it?
Similarly. No one liked doing it. I mean, it's kind of humiliating, right? You didn't get into this job to perform for people. And I understand performing is great for some. But if you're just trying to make your wages and serve people some mediocre steaks, right? You don't want to be dancing in addition. And I wasn't suited to it. I can't dance, still can't dance. Even if it is a line dance, which is fairly simple, I felt very awkward.
Like Justin, Reagan Eggert had no idea what she was getting herself into when she applied to and accepted a job at the Wiener Circle in Chicago's Lincoln Park neighborhood.
I was 19 looking for a fast job, and I Googled hot dog stand, and that was the first one to come up. Never heard of the Wiener Circle a day in my life.
7 years later, she is assistant manager, social media manager, and a crew member at the hot dog stand, famous for hurling insults at its customers.
It's actually very crazy because that is not even in the interview process. We serve high quality street food with, I guess you could say, a side of sass. We kind of talk a little bit. Am I allowed to swear on this or no?
I feel like for this, we need the swearing. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I won't overdo it, but
okay.
we do talk shit to customers, yes. Roast the customers, verbally abuse them. And it's all out of good fun, but we do talk shit to the customers, yes.
What the fuck you want? Ain't nobody got all day. What's so fucking funny, bitch? I'm not laughing.
Yeah, no mustard.
Don't act like you don't eat meat. You eat meat.
I won't even bring my dad.
You eat meat. Oh, I said, don't tell me shit about no compliments until I ask you.
I took my Irish boyfriend to get roasted at a Chicago hot dog stand. He almost got kicked out of the country.
Get your shit together. I'm gonna call Trump. He's gonna send your ass right the fuck back. Hurry the fuck up. We're at the Wiener Circle. What the fuck you think you should get? Oh, Wiener, right?
Wiener, yeah. How big are
Eating all that haggis and mash and shit, right? Beans and toast.
How big are the wieners?
Below average. You know what that looks like. And here in America, you can tip, okay? And not the one in your pants.
And my understanding is that customers do the same back. It's a reciprocal insult.
Oh, for sure. For sure. We have customers that walk in. They're like, hey, bitch, give me a hot dog. Throw my shit on the grill. And I'm just and we're like, okay, motherfucker, we got you. You want everything on it? Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's not. People walk in and we're being nice or whatever. We're just being regular. And they're like, oh, you guys aren't talking shit today? I'm like, hey, fuck you. You don't tell me what to do. I'll do it when I'm ready,
So how did this start? What is the history of this?
So this place has been open for longer than I've been born. But the story that I've always heard was that, it's a very busy place and we're open late night. The then owner of the Wiener Circle was trying to get someone's attention. And he's like, hey, what do you want on your hot dog? Hey, hello. And the guy was drunk and not listening. And he's like, hey, asshole, what's on your hot dog? And the woman behind the counter kept it going. And yeah.
And obviously that's why people go there now besides the food.
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely.
Have you ever had an awkward moment or a time where somebody was angry with you or tried to fight you or anything like that?
All the time. Yes. All the time. Yes. I've had people try to fight me. I've had people throw stuff at me. I've had people call the police on me. I've had all types of stuff because they really don't know. There was this guy from Greece and he walked in and he just was ordering food and we're just talking a little bit of shit. We had just got there. So it was early it was 4:00 in the afternoon. We're just, we're just getting the day started. So we're like, hey, asshole, like, like, what do you want? He's like, asshole? Like, why am I an asshole? I'm like, oh, I'm like, what do you want to be, a motherfucker? And he's like, no, like, why would you say that to me? And I'm like, well, that's what we do here. And I like explain, I explained it to him and whatever. And he's like, oh, but why? Like, why are you guys doing that? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm like, this place has been around longer than I've been born. Like, who gives a fuck? I'm like, are you going to order or not? and I'm like, well, how did you hear about this place? And he's like, I was just walking past. And I thought, I'm like, well, that's your problem.
Does this increase your tips?
Definitely. That is why we get tips. I mean, the food is good, of course. Like, people will eat their dogs and come back, throw money in the bucket, and be like, that's the best damn dog I've ever had in my life. I'm like, yeah, I know. But but like, even though like I am serving hot dogs, I do feel like it is a performance. I am performing. I am entertaining. I'm an entertainer. I always try to keep people laughing and people entertained. I'm always trying to say something or do something that'll keep, just everybody going.
Because that's the thing. It's not insults to like get out your rage. It's all about the humor, right?
Yes. Oh, for sure. I love working with my coworkers. Like, we have a ball. We fight like family, but then it's all love like family. Like, it's such a good, warm, genuine place. My manager has been there for 38 years. Our fry cook has been there for 25 years. Our other legend, Poochie, she's been there for 26, 27 years. Crazy as hell, but they're all hilarious. The shit talking is the icing on the cake. Some people don't last at all. Like, some people will work a week and then they will not come back. It's not for the weak.
After the break, Atsuko tells me why she brought her relatives on her honeymoon despite her husband's protests. And she explains her all or nothing approach to cooking.
I love the taste of turkey, and I discovered it, of course, after moving to America and trying it during Thanksgiving. I don't cook typically, but when it comes to cooking a turkey, I don't know what it is. I'm like, something in my life has to feel normal and like I'm doing something traditional because I'm so unconventional in many ways. My family, my upbringing, my job, right? And so, yeah, I think it's my weird cosplay way of being like, this is what regular, normal Americans do. You make a turkey. I'm all or nothing. Okay, nothing I do is like, oh yeah, how about you just, cook every day? Have it be something doable and easy. No. I'm like, how about a whole ass turkey? Or nothing. Or we go out to eat. Whenever I can find it at the grocery store, I'm like, ooh, let's do it. And then, yeah, it doesn't have to be November is what I'm saying. But it's very hard to find if it's not October, November in grocery stores. So I love going to like a theme park where they do have turkey legs all year round. Maybe you can't find them because it's going to the theme parks. I don't know.
I made a comment about how many turkey legs they must go through at theme parks, but wondered where the rest of the turkey bodies go.
I know. I'm that girl. Yeah. No, where's, yeah, exactly. Maybe the rest of the body, hopefully they're making turkey slices. Hopefully.
Atsuko got married in 2017, but she and her husband realized years later that the marriage certificate had never been filed. So they got married again in 2022. But the funniest part of her wedding story is her honeymoon. She brought her mom, her grandma, her dad, and her stepmom.
We went to Taiwan for our honeymoon. It was good, but me and Ryan had a talk and he was like, hey, some things could be for us, just the two of us. This is called a honeymoon, and typically that's just for the two people who got married. So yeah. Yeah, I just said this is what we're doing. But I also, was trying to make it sound like wouldn't that be so fun though? We were going to get bored, just the two of us. What do we talk about? We're going to see each other for the rest of our lives. Don't you think it'll be fun to have more people this time around? I have this tendency to, it's called aggressive generosity, where I was taught it by my grandma, like making you eat when you don't want to, things like that. A lot of, I think, people can relate. I'm always trying to create a better sequel to my childhood. So I'm like, well, now that I have some money, let's bring the whole family to the honeymoon. It wasn't just my grandma. I brought my mom, I brought my dad, and my stepmother, because I was like, well, maybe this will be the time we all get along. And maybe we can take that family group picture we never got to take, That's why I did that. And I disguised it as like, this is a gift for you guys, even though no one asked for it. Yeah. But it was me trying to work out my own things. I was like, we deserve it just like any other family. We are normal. Cut to, we are not, okay?
And that was Atsuko Okatsuka's last meal. Atsuko Okatsuka is on tour now. You can find a link to tickets in the show notes. You can also watch her comedy specials on HBO and Hulu. Thanks to Justin Eckstein and Reagan Eggert. I cannot wait to go to the Wiener Circle someday and have her yell at me. I've also never had a classic Chicago-style hot dog like you can get at the Wiener Circle.
So it's a charred grilled Vienna red hot dog. We have it in a steamed poppy seed bun. And then we got the yellow mustard, the sweet relish, chopped white onion. We got the pickled spears, sliced tomato, dash of celery salt, and then the sports peppers on the side.
Your Last Meal is a product of Seattle's Cascade PBS. Go to cascadepbs.org to become a member, and for as low as $7 a month, you will get on-demand access to all PBS programming, everything from Julia Child to Big Bird, while knowing you are keeping your local public media station afloat. This episode was edited by Isaac Kaplan-Woolner, mixed and mastered by senior producer Sarah Bernard, and produced by me. Original theme music by Prom Queen. Make sure and get your tickets to Food Fight, hosted by me and featuring the hosts of America's Test Kitchen, Bridget Lancaster and Julia Collin Davison. Everyone in the audience can participate in food trivia. We'll be pulling up audience members for some fun games, and we have some really incredible prizes. Food Fight is November 8th at the Neptune Theater in Seattle. Find a link to tickets in the show notes or click on the events page at hellorachelbelle.com. I'm Rachel Belle, and this is Your Last Meal.